I was one of the brilliant kids in school, yet I battled identity crisis. Mine started when my parents changed our school. At that time, the luxury we were used to was not what we met in our new school. Even though the quality of education didn't change, the environment told a completely different story. Then came the harsh attitudes from classmates and schoolmates, and it made everything even more frustrating. I found it difficult because we had cast lots to choose our next school. I can still remember my younger brother, goodness, crying, "Oh God, why me?" It was not a bad school at all, but when you compare it to where we came from, you will understand why it was difficult for us to settle in at first. I remember Prince and I standing in the school bus when we mistakenly stepped on a fellow student's shoe. The shout from the female student almost took us out. "Are you mad? Can't you see? Eh?" In fact, we quickly chorused "sorry" because we had never experienced anything like that before. Then as Prince tried to lift his head, his face landed in the armpit of another student whose uniform was torn under the arm, so we could clearly see his bushy hair. At that point, Prince and I looked at each other in a way that simply said, "We have seen enough. Isn't it okay? No, we are not attending this school again." Hot tears rolled down our cheeks as we started remembering our former school, the comfortable life we enjoyed there, and even the fame. We agreed that we were not cut out for this life. When I entered my classroom that day, I was already crying because who builds classrooms without doors and windows? Well, this is crazy. Students even squatted beside other students. Before then, we attended a school where we were second only to the owner's children. We had the best life. We tried new things. We were respected and recognized for our good character and exceptional academic performance throughout the school. But something happened, and my parents decided it was time to move us to another school. In this new school, I maintained my academic excellence, but something died inside me. Somehow, I became different versions of myself. That was where many things happened, many things began. I learned to keep quiet. I became so shy. I hardly spoke unless matters became very worse and serious. Gradually, I withdrew from almost every activity in school. One example was when I rehearsed for a French drama, the school choir, and a dance presentation for a graduation ceremony. I was actually the main character in the French drama because I loved French language and I could speak it more fluently than many of my classmates. But guess what? I stayed at home on the day of the presentation. How was I supposed to stand in front of everyone and act? My mind was filled with countless what ifs. My mom screamed and screamed that morning, but fear had already won. I never participated in the dance or choir either. I still remember attending that graduation ceremony later and hiding my face from my French teacher. That was not even the end of it. That was simply the phase where identity crisis quietly entered my life and crippled me. The interesting part was that throughout those years, my passion for writing began. My parents never knew. At home and in church, I was very active, but in school, it was a completely different Grace Harrison. Since it was a new school, nobody knew the active, outspoken girl I used to be. So it became easy to become someone else, someone who stayed out of trouble, someone who avoided unnecessary comments from teachers and classmates. Who was going to tell my parents that the Grace Harrison in school was not the same Grace Harrison at home and in church? Writing and crying became my favorite hobbies. As I cried, I wrote. At night, I cried because I wanted to go back to my old school. I wanted my old self. I cried silently so nobody would ever hear me. This continued for almost 2 years, even after I had settled into the school perfectly. So why am I telling you all of this? After many years, I am no longer that little girl. Exactly 2 years later, I moved to another school as instructed, but something happened. I started working with teenagers and young people, and I kept seeing the old grace in many of them. I know a gifted child when I see one because I used to be that child. For the past 12 years, I have spent my life helping teenagers and young people navigate seasons of identity crisis. And every time I listen to them, I remember my own story. I promise to share my experiences with you over the next 89 days so that more teenagers and young people can learn how to navigate this phase of life well. It is one of the hardest seasons anyone can experience if it is not managed properly. I also want you to know that everyone faces identity crisis, regardless of their social status or financial background. In many cases, this season gives birth to the greatness you admire in people today because they learned how to navigate it instead of allowing it to destroy them. So come with me as I share stories from my life and teach identity crisis management over the next 89 days. My prayer is that when your own season comes, or if you are already in it, you know how to walk through it with wisdom and come out stronger. I am Grace Harrison, identity coach and writing mentor for teenagers and young people. Welcome to day 1 of #Unashamedly Grace.